To anyone ripping that reaction, you can't.
Sorry, you can't rip the reaction of booing?
Nope.
Why not?
What did you expect them to do?
Give a standing ovation to a guy who brought a team that was 2-14 the year before he got there,
right,
and led them to 11-5 in each of his first 3 seasons with an offensive line that resembled you and I.
Irrelevant to the situation they are now in. And I want to focus on the situation they are now in.
Okay, I want to see you walk down this road because I'm ashamed for those people.
I'm not.
Let me hear it.
Because I get it. It's the equivalent of seeing a bear in your backyard and getting mad that it went for the food. The fans care about one thing here. In the most important individual position in sports, when they watched Andrew Luck walk off that field, that was the next 5 years walking off the field. He could have retired after the season. They could have had an entire free agency to try and figure it out. They could have had an entire draft in Nashville to figure it out. They could have had 3 weeks in training camp to figure it out. And they got screwed. The organization got screwed. The fan base got screwed. That's not his priority. His priority is his well-being.
Right.
I want to make that very clear. But to say the fan base can't react that way when the next 5 years walks off the field and is flushed, unless you find some guy in the draft that can save your ass. What did you think the fan base was going to do? They're done. And if a running back did that, a cornerback, a safety, this is a different discussion. This guy is the team. And to say the fans can't boo and the fans can't do this and the fans can't, that is ignorant. What did you expect them to do? A guy they've invested time in as well, they believed in, had to take a whole year off. We got you, Andrew. They're selling season ticket packages with Andrew Luck's fans, his face all over it.
We got you, Andrew.
That's what fans say. That's what a fan says.
We got you while you're sitting out the year.
Yes.
Well, we're crap. You come back, play at a Pro Bowl level.
We believe in you.
Despite the fact that the team has misdiagnosed injuries not once, but twice with Andrew Luck. Now, is he a part of that? Maybe. Probably not, but maybe. And probably the reason why a team would look at a guy and say, hey, you've got $24 million more that you should give back to us, but we're not asking for it. Why? The goodness of our heart. Not because you spent an entire training camp with a calf injury that no one knew was a calf injury, then it was an ankle injury, then it was going to be a calf injury again, and we're not sure how long it's going to take, but hey, bear with us while we figure this out. Andrew Luck, the franchise. Listen, he's working from a place of privilege, and I understand that, having already made $100 million.
But earned privilege.
And I think that a lot of other athletes would do this if they had made the $100 million. But all anyone was asking of those fans was to be able to separate for 12 seconds the future of their franchise and what this guy already did. Do you want me to list what this guy already did? Torn cartilage, 2 ribs, partially torn abdomen, lacerated kidney that left him pissing blood, 1 concussion, torn labrum in his throwing shoulder that he played through for 2 years because they couldn't figure out that he should have gotten surgery 2 years before this, and then the mysterious calf ankle injury that led to all this. That's what they should have separated. That's what people were saying. I'm ashamed that football fans, I'm a football fan, I'm ashamed that football fans can't figure out their ass from their tea kettle. I
didn't know where you were going with that. I think it worked.
Think so?
That's family show
ass
appropriate.
And tea kettle?
Yeah.
I guess I wanted to say a lot more. I'm ashamed that they can't figure this out. I went to an offensive lineman once. Listen, I played high school football for 4 years. I'm still sore from high school football at a B-level tops, okay? I went to an offensive line with the Hamilton Tiger Cats, and I said to them, because I'm still sore, when did you realize you would never be a normal human being again? And they're like, what are you talking about? You mean because we're big? I'm like, no, injuries. I'm like, about first or second year, I realized I would never be healthy again. Anyone talking who has never walked through it, I feel like it's ignorance. I feel like you have no idea what you're actually talking about and how hard it is to get through a training camp. Never mind 7 years as a pro. Never mind 3 more years in university. Never mind high school and Pop Warner. Guys, if you've ever played on a football team, guys drop out because they don't want to run. Guys drop out because they're scared of getting hit. This guy, not only was he not scared of getting hit, we have video of him congratulating guys for hitting him hard. All I'm asking for is for Colts fans to be able to separate what a terrible GM did to this guy, what he played through, the success that he brought a franchise that was obviously poop without him or Peyton Manning, and a fan base that has been spoiled by 2 generational quarterbacks who single-handedly brought them wins. If there was a moment of separation, I get it. Your future walked out that door. Understood. Just separate for 12 seconds and don't be selfish. But in 2019, that's apparently asking way too much.
So if that game happened in New York and he was a Giant, would they have reacted differently?
Okay, but you said this already, and you said it about running back. You think they booed Barry Sanders in Detroit?
But it was different.
Like, you lost your mind?
It was different.
Yeah, because
this guy controls
it wasn't a
the
week
game.
before the season started.
Do you know he now has to clear waivers if he comes back? Where he wouldn't have had to if he retired after the season?
He'll also give back $24 million if he ever comes back.
Well, by the way, Jim Irsay, he let him keep the $24 million. Jim Irsay is one thing, a businessman, all right? He didn't do that out of the kindness of his heart. If he ever comes back and plays football, he's going to make Andrew feel like he owes him something. Let's be honest.
Oh, no,
give me a break. I just see both sides of this.
XFL for his dad?
Say that again.
What?
Who's the commissioner of the XFL?
His dad.
His dad is the commissioner of the XFL.
Like, you realize this is a highly intelligent man who did very
listen,
well
I'm not fighting anything you
academically
said.
at Stanford and
I'm
had
not fighting
aspirations beyond football.
I'm not fighting anything you said. You were bang on.
I hate that people can't get past that they want that money and that they would love to play football, even though they never, ever have had to go through what any of these guys have had to go through.
But you're never going to get through to that fan.
Do you know when?
Ever.
I know, but all I'm asking is that you have some sort of empathy for 12 seconds while he walks off a field. That's all I'm asking. Literally all I'm asking. You're saying they don't have to have that.
No, but that's how deep the shock was.
Literally after.
That's how deep it was.
After I played Friday evening football games in high school, I would have to sit in a bath of Epsom salts for hours just to repair my body from the grind that it went through in high school. Now take that to college. And then if you're lucky enough, play pro. Like, I don't think anyone walks through that. And it's a damn shame that more people just don't have a slice of empathy in a moment like this.
But I think part of the problem, too, was we still don't really know what happened here. They didn't announce what specifically led to it. What was the setback in the last 10 days? Because we saw him working out. There were some mixed signals as to what his injury was, but we didn't get any clarification Saturday or from any insider nationally in the world of football reporters about why it is he exactly walked away.
Well, he said
it was it was generality.
He didn't want to go through the rehab. That's what
of what?
Of the calf and ankle injury.
They didn't say that. They said rehab. They said, I'm not living the life I want to live. He never said calf at that news conference. It never came out of his mouth.
Well, he said he didn't want to go through rehabbing and
what
the
I'm
injury
saying is,
that
you can assume what he was talking about, but we have got no clarity from the Colts to start training camp to this moment about what the hell really was going on with Andrew Luck.
Part of the reason why he retired, I'm suggesting to you,
okay.
and also part of the reason why he keeps $24 million of the Colts' money and counts against the cap. Like,
that's insane to me.
This is a cap hit on the team.
That's insane to me, man. Like, they think he's coming back. They think he needs a break. He's 29 years old.
And
they believe he's playing again.
That might be the only part of this that makes any sort of sense.